G'day and welcome back to Travel Tech Talks. My name's Jess and today we're talking start online, stay online. We're going to get into what the term actually means and what value it delivers for our customers and partners. It's fitting today that our guest is a person whose role is centered on understanding the needs of our customers and partners and bridging the gap between them and our product offering. So, welcome to Dinesh Kumar, Serko's Head of Channel Sales. Let's dive in.
One of the things I know I personally enjoy about working for an ever-growing tech company is that we get to meet cool people all the time. There's legends joining our business all the time. And I found myself listening to you in a recent conversation describing our team and the partnership development team. And I thought you had a really wonderful turn of phrase and description when you were describing our team's function. So I thought maybe a good way to start would be, is for you to kind of describe, your role at Serko as the head of channel partnerships globally, and maybe give a bit of description about our team. And
I can't remember which flavor you're talking about, but I'll choose a flavor, which is the travel ecosystem is complex. And I see our function as supporting the partnerships that our customers and partners have with Serko so they get the best of our product for both your travel program, for the partnering objectives that we have. So how do they get the best of Serko from our different areas? So it's really that peering at different parts of our organization. So yes, it is focused on growth, but it's growth on customer engagements. Yeah, so that's the flavor you get.
Yeah, that's the flavor we get. And is that, your role? Globally, you look after a couple of different teams,
The regions that we're in, I look after the channel team, and the channel team are both in market with customers, helping them understand what our product can do for their travel program, but also with our partners. Because we're only as good or as poor as how we show up for our customers, as how our partners are allowed or enabled to bring us to life.
Yeah, and have you seen that kind of shift and change over the last couple of years? I guess that TMC engagement and willingness to kind of have that partnership or have our partnership like in front of customers. And because I've certainly seen that shift in the last couple of years, is that TMCs are looking to us to better partner, to better equip themselves and our
100% have seen it, and I think we all feel it because the OBT, the booking platform, the travel and spend platform, is only one part of a total travel program.
Yeah, absolutely.
And at an enterprise level, there are many layers that sit in front, behind, and different tech stacks. So whilst it's an important part because it's the end user experience that influences adoption, that influences start online, stay online.
Yeah.
It is a differentiator, but it's also just a part of a total travel program. And I think our best partners are the ones that know it's their stack. And we are part of the stack. And how do they put their value proposition across? And the best that we offer, everyone that shows up at Serko today, we're all trying to remove that friction along the whole connected trip. How do you bring that to life?
Yeah.
Within someone else's stack, within someone else's value proposition. So I think that's what is exciting for me at Serko, because I think we sit in a unique space of being one of the only independent platform that is not linked to any other larger organization in the managed travel space.
Yeah.
So we work with partners globally.
That's it. I think we are, like you said, in a really unique space, and the way that we partner with those, with our TMCs is critical to, as you said, that we are one part of an ecosystem and a total travel program. We are a small part, but we are an important part. Yeah. And you mentioned there about start online, stay online, and that has actually been one of the founding or foundational product themes that we've kind of had for the last couple of years. Start online, what is it? What does that mean to anybody that might be listening to this?
Well, what's the origin story of Start Online?
Yeah, what's the origin story? Let's go there.
It's listening to customers in the market. And it's not something we created, but we embraced it. It came across an RFP for one of the largest travel programs in this region. And it was about driving efficiency. And it sort of resonated with us because, yes, what we're putting out, people are actually needing, which is that efficiency. Like our purpose for being is, can we make a dollar in a travel program go further? Whether that's content, whether that's getting visibility of what's happening outside the program through expense and so on. So that's one part of our product value. Can you make a dollar in a corporate travel program go further? The other part is, can you make it go further more efficiently and faster? And that means, how can the partners work more efficiently? How can they reduce their operating costs, especially post-COVID? Right, where the cost of labor is quite expensive and retraining. So what can they do more efficiently with a tool that's actually purpose-built to drive more efficiency?
And what about that customer, like the experience of that tool as well? Like, why is that so critical, do you think?
Because most corporate tools are clunky and cumbersome. And here's the tool you get. Don't complain.
Yeah, you get what you get and you don't get upset. That's it. Yeah.
So if it's easy to use, it's as easy as going to the internet and booking a flight. It's a consumer-driven experience.
Yeah.
It's things that you don't need to think about, what code do I put it in? It feels natural and intuitive. So especially important when, at the end of the day, you want to get your business trip done. You want to remove all the layers of activity behind organizing it, planning it, going on a trip. You're already spending time away from your family.
Yeah.
Right? In real terms, you're taking time away from your family.
That's it. Travel's a motive.
Yeah. So it is a good user experience. Is get it, get out, get what you need, and get best value for it.
Yeah.
And make good decisions, informed decisions.
Yeah. And that's a nice lead into kind of where my head was going was, decision making within the tool. How do we, make decisions about that consumer grade experience that you're describing, keeping that person in tool, on the tool, and having to make changes or anything like any of that booking management that's so critical, because it's not just you log in, you book, and that's it. As soon as you've there could be other aspects to the travel changes and cancellations, things like that like traditionally those things would go offline to the TMC, right? And it's about how do we build technology that enables those kinds of functions through the platform.
The stay online bit.
The stay online. Yeah, that's the bit.
I love this conversation. It feels like every day. That stay online bit, of course, starting, everyone talks about, online adoption, right? But
making the booking.
Making the booking.
Yeah.
Shop. Can you see it? Can you book it?
Yeah.
But a business trip is more than that.
Absolutely.
It has voluntary and involuntary changes. It has disruption. It has how things are paid for, how it's reconciled, how much effort you have to go through to file an expense. Bane of my business trips used to be filing expenses.
Yeah.
So, and those interactions, that costs money too to process offline for the TMC.
Absolutely.
That costs money too for the corporate, the end customer who's looking to facilitate those changes so their staff get to where they would need to go with well-being in mind. So it's having those interactions being able to be done at the convenience of the traveler or travel manager that not only drives a better travel program experience, it also drives down operating costs for the TMC and the end customer.
Yeah. And I think we're probably, I'm at a point where I'm kind of tired of hearing that post-COVID. But the reality is we are post-COVID, and that was a massive shift for our TMC partners. And I think, looking to technology to probably pick up some of those operational costs, or not costs, rather, like those operational activities, are you seeing that, generally that TMCs are welcoming the development of the product to kind of do more of that servicing, that stay online piece? Or are we finding we're getting to TMCs that are really wanting to pull back on and own that servicing component? What's your sort of thoughts on that?
Well, I think our best partners are actually trying to drive more efficiency. They know that. So you talk about, of course, I agree, it's all buzzy and, going through it.
Well, we're 4 years out now.
Yeah, so for me, it's not in reference to features, functions. For me, my reference there is the cost of maintaining the travel supply chain, salary, wages, the cost of supply, so costs of hotels, airline fares, everything's just risen. So it needs to go further. So I'm talking about the economic impact that is ongoing. It's a shift, and it's the new, it's the way it is. So it is. I think ever more so because of that shift. Our best partners are looking. Our best partners are technology companies in their own right, with DevOps teams and embrace technology, and they're tech natives. Because we are just one part of that total stack. And listening and then doing research. I mean, we are dedicated. We need to be, because that's all we do, trying to remove friction across the entire connected business trip. So we have the benefits of having research groups, the benefits of building in capability to understand what people are doing in our tool without us getting a report. So building up to that future, how do we use that data? So that's all we do. So our best partners need to be tech first, so they can leverage our data capabilities that we're hoping to build.
And I think when we are looking at, product development and getting that feedback, there's a couple of different avenues in which we do that. We have our customer advisory groups in which we, get to sit down with some end corporate customers every year and kind of tap into what they think, what they know, what they're experiencing. What are some of the things that you think that we've come out of those particularly that have influenced? Probably putting you on the spot there, thinking, from a product development point of view, but really, staying in that headspace of start online, stay online. Any call-outs that you would make that
I'm sure I'll get there, but before I get there, I'll just share that those customer advisory group days where we spend the day with our product team, with a community of customers, those days that we have our CAGs, it's my favorite days at Serko.
I know, it's fun, isn't it?
It's fun.
I think it gives everybody that's in the room this real
connection.
And everyone's on the same playing field. It's not you're a travel buyer and we're the tech, and it's a community. It's that feeling that we are listening to and hearing from like-minded people who are experiencing the same thing or have a different perspective or can problem solve.
Our magic at the CAGs is when one one buyer customer actually connects with another. Our magic is not when they're listening to us telling them. It's not about what we impart to them so they know something. It's how they feel after they leave. And how we want them to feel is more connected with our other community of customers so they become better at what they do. So that to me is the magic.
It's the gold, isn't it? The peering.
The magic is our curious product and technology team that is there, listening, intent, looking for the insight, looking for what is the insight that I didn't have before showing up to listen. I get different feedbacks from different channels. I get surveys, I get data from analytics that we have in the tool, but now is an opportunity for me to attest some of the ideas I have. That is the other magic part for me for CAGs. So going back to the question, what is long-winded?
We'll get there in a roundabout way. We'll get there.
So what are some of the unique ideas? I think it's some of the things that we didn't progress with, that we didn't invest in, because we got feedback that I see value in that, but we tested some ideas so we could fail fast. So being able to prototype things and get things out in front of people, and it validated some of the things that we chose not to do, but invested it in other areas.
I think, reflecting on, product development or product evolution, there's this very strong core that the customer is very much at the heart of what we're doing. We don't want to build technology. We didn't come up with Start Online, Stay Online. It was born of, as you said, an RFP, but it really struck a chord with us that's important. That's what travellers and travel bookers are looking for, the most efficient way forward. What is going to not just enable that booking, but, all the changes and everything that come along with it, and really listening in and tapping into what other people are telling us, what the travellers are telling us and what the travel buyers are telling us. And I think that's really, in my maybe biased perspective, that's quite a a differentiator for Zeno and Serko as a community and as a tech company. I think when you sit down and you listen to, various people across our business, it's customer first. Customer is at the heart of what we do. We have to listen because we're not going to build technology that people want to use and is easy to use and is going to give them all these efficiencies if we're building it because we think someone's going to. We are, as you said, testing, we're validating, we're getting that feedback. And yeah, as you said, testing things out in the market and failing fast, or goes right through to that product development stage as well. Or if,
Yeah. I think the energy in the business for me is because there's growth and there's a generally a growth mindset across the business. And it's, yes, at the end of the day, it's, are we growing in business? How's our market valuation going and all of that? But at the end of the day, at the core of that is how are we growing by the measure of how happy customers are? What does that look like? Because I think the growth as a business grows with that. So we are all in service of revenue, our finance team, our services team, our sales team.
Yeah.
We are all in service of at the end of the day, the customer. But not subservient, because there are things that we think we are thought leaders in. We're not arrogant about it, but we are trying to disrupt a complex travel ecosystem.
Yeah.
So to some extent, we need to hold to our guns in certain areas. And to some extent, we need to be agile, flexible, listen, adapt. So it's finding that right mix between the two. You know?
Doing the dance,
Doing
as
the
we
dance,
say, in our team.
Why show up if you can't do a dance that,
That's it.
that allows you to show up and express the different, look at you. You bring a totally different perspective, right, to the role you're in your day-to-day at Serko.
Yeah.
But you do it in flair because you show up as your true self.
Well, it's one of our guiding principles, right? Showing up authentically and, being able to have your own flair with your role, right? And I think that is across our business. Everybody shows up authentically, customer focused, customer minded, but you have to put your own spin on it, right? And I think what you're saying about being challenge and debate. Yeah. That's a really common kind of viewpoint, I think, in the partnership development team. It's just about, and we love this one, the strong opinions loosely held and, challenge and debating. And I think that we are so lucky that we have, a TMC community and relationships with end corporates that get to see that we're there authentically, asking difficult questions at times or challenging, why doesn't Zeno just build, X, Y, Z? Yeah. Why? Yeah. What's the value? We're not yes men. We need to make sure that we are building functionality that is meaningful. And I think what I find refreshing about working for Serko is that everyone's on that pitch. Everyone, is within our business has the opportunity to push back, challenge, debate, question, and we encourage that from our TMC community and corporates as well, and they have that expectation of us. I think that's quite unique to our business. Yeah,
and I think you spoke about the channel team, right? And which exists as part of the whole, and we're all around the needs of the customer. But I think whilst we have a philosophy in the channel team, I think it spreads across Serko as well in different ways and different words and different languages. But purpose, why are you here? Culture, how do you debate? Challenge, have backbone to debate, disagree, and then commit as a team for an outcome. And then autonomy, go out and break shit.
Yeah.
Which is quite jarring.
Yeah,
But it means something.
Yeah.
It means go out and do the things you're meant to do and you can do. So.
How many tech companies can say that? They give their
go break shit.
Yeah, go break stuff. So I think by way of kind of maybe coming full circle, is there any other sort of message that you would want to impart about the criticality of start online, stay online, and that's such a focus for us and is so important. As I said, it's been a product theme for us for a couple of years now, and I believe it will remain one of those pillar or foundational product themes moving forward. Any last kind of insights that you...
I think this acronym probably sets people in different thought processes, as it's mentioned, NDC. But I'll just call it out because there will be many other versions of that.
Yeah.
That is that is driving change. That there are benefits for, but because of the complex travel ecosystem, it's not just about shop and book. It's how things are managed too. But that's air and hotels and all the disruption that's happening. So I think that's a big component of Start Online, Stay Online. We were one of the earliest to start the journey there. We've been growing and adapting based on the flux in the industry, but we're still leading edge.
Yeah.
And that is one example, but it is also for us to be close to what's happening and for us to bring that capability into our corporate programs because travel programs are being disrupted by different suppliers. So I think it's just the further disruption to come.
Yeah.
And that it's not just your partnership with your OBT, it's your partnership with your tech provider, it's your partnership with your, and how does that ecosystem all play together? It's not how do they stand alone independently, but that partnership aspect, because the travel ecosystem needs collaboration and connectivity. So we may speak to a competitor, we may speak to TMC that may promote something else, but we don't mind because at the end of the day, it's what does the customer need and how do they get the best of us? That's our obligation to that end customer getting a good outcome with our software that we're also passionate about doing our bit to push forward.
Awesome. Yeah.